Alright guys, so I'm back and I'm just going to show you with these. I don't bother to try and find them. I got lots of automotive bulbs, and now I might order some just for the fact that I need to replace some bulbs in some that aren't soldered in, but these will be fine to use automotive grade bulbs. I measured 8 volts AC on this, and if you see here, they're all the same. And so you can put LEDs in here, but I prefer not to do that with AC supply because the LED actually has to rectify it. And what it seems like is a really noticeable flutter that you see specifically if you put a camera or something like that on it. But what it'll do is I like to use a couple different kinds. I'm going to try this. I'm just kind of curious. I wanted to try out just a little experiment to see what this might look like with an amber bulb. Just out of curiosity. Probably funky, but so what we'll do is we'll set that aside, and we're going to get in here, and I got to get my soldering iron or gun or whatever. I have one in here. One from Goodwill. I don't think it's ever been used for anything special. Cheap ass Weller. I wonder what kind of bulbs those use. I hadn't thought about that. So we're gonna get in here and just undo. It's hot fast, buddy. Come on. And I think it might have flung some solder too. So I don't know what size these are. I can't read any writing on them, but we'll check later. And meanwhile, let's set this down here and we'll repower up. And let me see if I can find the cord. Where'd it go? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna see. Okay, let me turn the flash off. Okay. And I'm just curious. Actually, I don't even know if this bulb is good. So 8 volts makes pretty dim for these guys. So it would already have kind of a yellowy color in the first place. So let's go ahead and see. So it's pretty dim. But what we want to do, we're just going to solder this. So I'll just try one to start with, and then I'll be back. Alright, so there's a little bit of a pain in the butt to a degree. Because the wires are kind of steel or whatever the hell, you know. And so they don't really quite like to stick to anything. We'd have to see if we can pull these through here. The bulb is bigger than the original, so there could be the issue of not being able to get it to pull through and sit in there properly. So we'll see, but for sure. Hope I didn't do anything bad. Okay, so it's very, very dim, as we can see, but I mean, you got some light, so you'll have to do this with these a couple of times. But one of the things is, this being a 12-volt bulb, we should pretty much last a long time. We get it a little bit more centered. I think, you know, when you have all three of them in there, I think it would probably be a lot better. But this is just something that you can do, you know, without having to order some special bulbs. Okay, let me see. Oh, there we go. And that fits in there really good. Okay, so it snapped right in. So, which one should we do next? The middle one. I'm going to do the one over by the meter, maybe? Yeah, we got that one out. Okay. So, we have found the easiest way to do this, usually with most of these, this one looks different, is when you use the automotive bulb, just straighten the legs out and squeeze them together. Let's see. Yeah, it's not going to come out. Okay. This can happen. I should have did this in the first place, but okay. It is what it is. So we take our pliers. Oh man, major mistake too. Don't do what I was doing. We have the thing on. It's also a really dumb thing to do. Okay. So there, we pulled it out with those. And then we're just going to come in here, and just unsolder this carefully. Okay. And I tried to make sure I do that away from the inside of the radio. Just for safekeeping. Okay, we're gonna straighten these as much as possible, and then we'll move on to our next bulb. Now, if you have a bunch of these bulbs like I do, you're going to want to check them as you go along. Make sure you don't solder in one that's no good, because that will suck. Okay. Let's see. So pull these out of here like this, and you're going to want to scuff them with a razor knife also. But anyway, let's just make sure this one's good. Okay, it is. Now we can unplug the radio. So we're going to scuff this up or squeeze them together, and we'll solder them with something with some good heat before we come over here and solder them to these. Alright, we got the other one. Let's see. Go ahead and plug her in. I gotta still do another one too, which is a pain. Okay. Alright. Be careful. Alright. It's looking better. I think a little light escapes from here, so I got one more bulb to do, and then after that, it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. I'm not gonna get any more into it. All right. pull it through. Snap her in. There we go. Okay. Get the rest of these wires out of the freaking way, because there's a string back there you got to be careful with. So it's very light glow. You know, I don't know what it looked like originally, but I would guess probably pretty close to that. I don't like the overpowering LED color. Alright, so I didn't do the best cleaning in the world, but it's like it's got something that was probably spilled on it or something. Not really sure yet. Put a little bit of whatever this is. I went through in here, vacuumed it, brushed it, cleaned it out, and it looks a little dingy back in here still, but I don't really want to worry about it too much. So we're gonna probably just leave it alone. I think it's good enough for now. I'll put the cover back on it, and the rest of the stuff that needs to be cleaned can be done up from the outside. And interesting, it's got DMs. We'll pull the bottom cover later on and make sure everything's all good there. And so anyway, yeah, these are the bulbs that came out of it. They don't have any markings. I don't know what you call these. If you know, please just leave a thing in the comment, and if you have a link to where to get them cheap, let us know. Because there's nothing wrong with using these if they're, you know, affordable. The advantage to using these is that these are 12 volts. I would have guessed these are probably a 9-volt bulb. So we saw 8 volts DC. So these are probably going to last a very long time compared to these. But who knows what these were actually rated at. They might be 12-volt bulbs too, so I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and just start putting it back together. As you've seen, it's a pretty simple stereo to disassemble. And also you could cut the wood pieces yourself and make your own wood pieces for this thing. And it wouldn't be too hard to do. I'm not going to really get too excited about this. I could clean it right now if I really wanted to, but I just want to get it back in there and see how this thing looks with that. Okay. So we got that there, how it should be. We get a screwdriver because I don't want to run the screws in. I don't like running the screws back in, especially ones that are threaded finely. I prefer to just run them back in rather than cross thread them. Let's see, be off a little bit. Sometimes that can happen too. We've been moving the thing around, the chassis can shift. Okay. Don't know what side was what, and I don't really think it matters. In fact, I can tell by looking at it which side's what. The other side. but they got a little pin. There's a little pinhole right here. Interesting. Smart design, actually, because the pinhole goes to part of the bezel. I'm just trying to get it to line up. For some reason it doesn't. I wonder if there we go. Okay. Get this one. No reason to be in a hurry at this point. Got all the other crap done. I think there's probably still something else wrong with it, but I wanted to start by at least getting this done. Again, we got that little locating pin right there. Helps make things a little bit easier. I know I'm probably blocking the view here. All right, let's plug it in. Okay, let's turn the flash off. Looks pretty cool. You'd have to be sitting here to kind of appreciate it because it's sort of, yeah, if I get a little closer, it's a little easier to notice it. And so, I'm wondering about hooking this up just in between these two RTR speakers, or go up here, put it in between the Kenwoods. But right now I'm just kind of trying to move stuff around, get some projects done, get caught up with stuff, and that kind of thing. So, I removed the strips on here that were fading and chipping up, and that's about all I've done to it. We pulled that glow stick out of the headphone jack. That was nice. We could actually see if the headphone jack works. I had not even thought of that, but let's see what we got here. We're on speaker A and B. Bass, treble, balance, volume. And we're on FM. We can see that meter moving. I wonder if there's another bulb that was meant for that meter. It'd be kind of cool if it was lit up a little bit better. And I don't even have an antenna hooked to this. There's a little piece. There we go. There's the stereo light. There's a little piece of wire on the back of it that's just kind of hanging there. So that's it, guys. That's the bulb deal. That's how I do them.